Hello everybody. Right. This is section 2, chapter 5, page 10. It's the last page on this section and on this chapter. And we're going to talk about Stonehenge. Now, in my previous page, page 9, I mentioned there are certain acupuncture points on the planet, like a certain acupuncture points on the body. There are very important acupuncture points or points on the planet, monuments, buildings. And one of the most important, most recognized one is a Stonehenge, and which I've been to both in the summer solstice and the winter solstice, and the vibes are amazing. So strange. Now, the Stonehenge is based on the principle of a Daoism. So, like a Chinese coin, you have a circle which represents heaven, and in the middle you have an earth which represents square. So you have heaven, earth, man, the circle, the square, and in the middle, the man is created between the heaven and earth. Now, Stonehenge, they say roughly is about 5,000 years old, but nobody knows how old it is. And I've been there, and in the middle of nowhere, if you imagine 5,000 years ago, in the middle of nowhere, somebody said, right, we're going to bring huge stones from all over the place, from Mars, and just erect it there. People would have said, why? What's the matter? So there is a significant points, acupuncture points, significant energy, meridian system at Stonehenge, and places around like Avery circles. But Stonehenge is very, very important. Now, Stonehenge, as I said, is based off of Taoism. So you have, if you go to Stonehenge during the summer solstice, which is the longest day of the year, and from that day, the nights get longer and the days get shorter. So that's the summer solstice. The plinth is that's a very high plinth, so that indicates the height of the sun, and directly opposite, in the winter solstice, which is the shortest day of the year and longest night of the year, which is Tai-Yin, the plinth is very small. So the sun rises very small amount. So 5,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, wherever it was built, nobody knows. The shamans, the healers, they were all Daoist. They knew about the summer solstice and winter solstice, and they knew about these very significant points. So not only it was a observatory, Stonehenge was a very place of healing. It was a hospital, and they found bones around that area where people have traveled from miles and miles and miles to get healed. So it was a hospital, a healing hospital, an observatory, a place of burial for them to go to the other side. So the shamans and the people who set this place, were really, really advanced beings. And although they didn't have the technological knowledge that we have now, but they had that energy, that spark, that zest, that knowledge, the subconscious knowledge. Some people say it came from the outer space, another planets, but whatever it was, they knew. Let's say, for example, suddenly said, right, let's put a point, build this massive monument, run in the middle of nowhere, 5,000 years ago. So it had a significant importance. And when they they celebrated, like they found bones of animals and people that traveled from far, far away, let's say as far as Scotland, to come there to celebrate the summer and winter solstice. So to them, the Tai-Yin, which was a time of death of nature, which was the winter, it wasn't the time of death, it was a time of celebration, because you can wait until you are born again into the next phase in the spring and summer. So they knew about life, death. But when the Romans came to Britain and they saw this advanced knowledge of the shamans and healers, they said, no, you can't celebrate death. We got to put celebration of life. We got to make, evergreen. We got to, gradually this idea of the Father Christmas with a very young red dress and white beard, very fiery, lively, because they said, no, you can't celebrate death. You got to celebrate life. So to the Romans, it was just no. But to the shamans and the ancient druids, it was a time of celebration of life and death, yin and yang. So the whole idea of the Stonehenge and all these important points on the planet Earth is to do with the yin and the yang and the Tao. So they're all based on Taoism. Very, very, very significant.